told you that all week. Okay, it was going to come down to the very end. Okay, going on two at the very end. I'm going to tell you this. I'll take credit for that because it didn't work out. It wasn't a good idea because it didn't work out. But when I put faith in you to get something done like that, I made a jump from game over. Understand that? Okay, that's on me though. I made that call. Should have done it. Okay, it's been a great teaching tool, right, Howard?
Yes, sir.
You'll never do it again.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Hey, we just fight from the beginning to the end. We'll make our corrections. Okay? I told you before the game, I knew we had good football players, but I didn't totally know how it was all going to come together, right? I mean, it wasn't pretty, but we got the win. And an ugly win is better than a pretty loss. Every single time. Yes, sir. All right, everybody up? Big Tiger, bro.
Your first varsity action. How did it feel tonight?
I think it was a good experience. I think I still have a lot to learn, and we can learn a lot from this game, but it was a good experience.
What'd you think, filling in for Bryson Powers? I mean, such a, great senior year. Y'all go to the semifinals. I mean, what does it mean to fill in as somebody who just left for Harvard and get a win against such a senior-laden team like Lamar tonight?
It's a very good feeling. Bryson was a great football player, and we still have a really good team. We just got to keep playing and replace, and there's a tradition established at Klein Collins, so you just have to follow it.
Obviously, this is a week 3 game, but it's really y'all's opener. Does it start to feel like you guys are getting back to normalcy now with your everyday lives in football, considering the storm, and now that you got your first game under your belt? How does that feel as community feeling?
Definitely a good feeling to just get back into it. Getting out here is good. Just good to get the season going again.
All right. Big win and congratulations on beating Lamar.
Thanks, sir.
No problem.
Thank you.
So U of H commit, pretty big win over Lamar. How's that feel? You got week 3.
We've been preparing for them for like 2 weeks. The flood and stuff. When we was out of school, we were just preparing for them the whole time.
So it's feeling good now. It almost feels back to normal. It's been should play the game week 1 because of the storm. Week 3, so it feels like things are starting to get back to the motion.
We really needed a game under us to really come together and really play how we want to play.
Could you kind of feel that you guys lagged in the first half, maybe because you didn't have the 2 other games you were supposed to play?
We didn't have a scrimmage or a game, so this like in the beginning we were really slacking a little bit. We weren't really playing that good, and then the fourth quarter we were really coming together and doing our assignments right.
How excited are you about next year? U of H commit.
I'm overexcited. I'm going to the game this Saturday.
And what does it mean? You lose 47 seniors off a semifinal team, and you come around and you beat a team that's stacked with seniors. Mm-hmm. So it just shows the continuation that Klein Collins is, one of the super programs in the
Houston. We have.
Right. And so just, coming back, 1-0 and beat a top team right there. Y'all are a top team. Yeah. All right, man. Congratulations on being 1-0.
Thank you.
Hey, man, I'm U of H student. But how does it feel, now getting back to normalcy, having a first game underneath your belt?
Oh, it feels great to get back and have more organized practices and all the things that come with that, and having the excitement of knowing that game at the end of the week. And this practice every day can become tiring, and it can seem pointless to some people, but now it seems like purpose has been refilled, and now we're more focused, and it's exciting going on.
That Lamar offense, they had probably about 3 or 4 D1 guys. Tajon Henry, TCU, Avante Woodard going to UT, and then Ty Holden, pretty good quarterback. Because you guys didn't have those first 2 games, did you have more time to prepare for Lamar?
I mean, we prepared for them just like we did the other team. I mean, with the time, I would say that helped. But we approached this week like we would last year, like we would any other year. A normal game week, we came in, we studied film, we got our skin down, we repped it. We had a mental day. We had a day where we got after in practice, had a great practice. We came back with another mental day and came out to play. So I would say the approach was no different than any other time.
You guys held Lamar to no scores until late in the fourth quarter. How's that feel as a defense that lost, you said 47 players and your defensive coordinator? Do you think that speaks of the maturity and dependability of your defense?
Well, no matter who left or who's coming, the standard at Klein Collins is the same. Our head coach, the standard does not change, and the coaches that did come in, the standard didn't move. They came in, and we didn't have to wait for them to catch up. They jumped right on board with us, and we kept going. So the standard was no different. And I mean, I feel like it was a pretty sloppy play for us, but I mean, that's the first game, and that's going to come with more practice, and that's going to come as we get more polished. So, I mean, we came out with a win. It was an ugly win, but I mean, we have coming up tomorrow to go over it and make our corrections, and then we're on to the Tuscaloosa next week. So the approach is no different. I mean, we just got to keep going. It's pretty sloppy, but we'll be fine.
Donovan, you're not committed to anyone. Who are you looking at?
I'm committed to University of Houston right now.
Oh, you are?
Okay, so you and your teammate Kameron Lewis. So is that exciting to know you're going to have a buddy down there next year?
It's cool to know.
I'm looking forward to the game this weekend, too, right?
I'm going to be up there. So that's going to be fun. Season opener against Rice. I'm excited for it.
Well, congratulations on being 1-0. I mean, a great win, and look forward to watching you for the next, 5 years, 6 years?
You're a good interviewer.
Overall, I guess you probably expect kind of a defensive struggle in this one anyway.
Yeah, we hadn't scrimmaged with anybody. We hadn't played a game. This was our first time to put our hands on somebody other than us. And, yeah, it was not pretty, but I told my guys in the fourth quarter that, this is going to be one of those deals that it's going to go right down to the end, and the team that makes a couple plays late is going to win. And we hit those 2 big passes on that last drive. We didn't punch it in, but it got us down there and, really won the game for us. But I probably overthought it a little bit and went for 2 on 4th and 2 and thought they'd jump and end the game, but we jumped, so we tricked ourselves. But, yeah, it was just, like I said, ugly wins are always better than pretty losses.
Your new quarterback comes out, throws a pick 6 on his first series, but ends up, staying in there, rallying the troops. 19-yard touchdown run there at the end. What'd you say from him?
Yeah, well, just resilience. But he's the quarterback. He's a fighter, not real big, just great leadership skills, solid as a rock. To play your first high school football game on the varsity ever, against Lamar. What a challenge that is. But he kept his composure and made the 2 big plays here at the end, and ran the touchdown run. And it didn't surprise me, but I was glad to see it when you don't always know how someone's going to react when the lights come on. And like I said, we're playing the Lamar Texans, right? So proud of him, really proud of him.
Defense answered the challenge too. I mean, you had your own long interception return, the blocked punt. Both of those were key plays.
Oh, huge. I mean, those interception returns kind of canceled each other out, right? And the block punt, that was huge. We didn't capitalize on everything, but when you get the ball out of that quarterback's hands, did number 4 catch a ball all night?
No.
Maybe 1, nothing big.
He's one of the top guys around. So, just us possessing the ball sometimes is the best defense. But our defense came up huge. We've got 2 new, defensive coordinators in Adrian Mitchell and Steve Powers, and with Lonnie Madison move on to College Park. So this was huge for them, just getting their first game on that side of the ball. So proud of my coaches, proud of my defensive coaches, proud of me. This was just one of those games.
Coach, do you prepare for games at the beginning of the year where you know that there's going to be a lot of penalties and a lot of mistakes? I mean, is there an early season game plan as opposed
usually you get a lot of that stuff out in your first scrimmage, and then usually your first game, but that was a month ago, right?
Right.
So, the cramps and all that kind of stuff, that happens usually in the scrimmage and at the end of August, not now. But, that stuff will all take care of itself. The execution will continue to get better. And in order for an offense to probably look really good the first week, they got to be playing a really bad defense, So when you play guys like this, both offenses have
a great win against, you lose 47 seniors and you turn around and beat a team that's a senior-laden team. It shows the continuation of your program.
We had 5 starters back, from last year's team. I started 17, actually 18 seniors against DeSoto last year in the state semifinals. So there's a whole lot of brand new faces out there. Some have played some varsity before, others this was their first time. So that was the biggest thing that I took away from it, is I challenged them. I said, I know we have good football players, but what are we going to do when it's not all going our way? Are we going to get sucked into it and spiral downhill, or are we going to just stay the course and just keep throwing body blows? And
really proud of how my guys responded.
Was Spiller dinged up or cramping a little? Cramping in that
Just
second
cramping.
half.
Yep.
Came back in late, right? But Powell did a good job. Seemed like carrying the load while he was.
Powell and Spiller are guys that have a lot of varsity experience from last year. They weren't starters, but they're good players and they help each other out. And tonight we needed 2 running backs. I'm glad we have 2. We're blessed to have 2 running backs.
So I'll go right into district now. Right?
Actually, we picked up a Tascasita next week. Are they any good?
Okay. Yeah, I think they were beating Klein Oak last I saw.
Yeah, we picked them up next week. So out of the frying pan into the fire.
Okay, so you got that one next week, and then district.
And then Memorial opening up district. Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Thank you very much,
Coach. Congratulations on being 1-0, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
This show is brought to you by the book, All I Need to Know I Learned from My Texas High School Football Coach. A handbook of wisdom for parents, young people, and yes, even coaches. Head over to www.learnedfromcoach.com and order your copy to support sharing the stories of these great coaches and leaders. That's learnedfromcoach.com.
LoneStarGridiron.com. Access the complete history of Texas high school football, over 100 years of information, win-loss records, coaching histories, individual stats, records, and more. Lone Star Gridiron, the authority on Texas high school football.